This video, I will show you how to use the new Read Aloud activity that I am currently adding to our Moodle. So if you log into your Moodle and go down to My Courses, you should see a course called LNS Vocab Quizzes / Read Aloud. When you click in here, the first thing you'll see is a bunch of vocabulary quizzes, which currently these are quite difficult. You can check them out and you can assign them if you want, but I'm planning to make a slightly easier version. I will let you know when that is complete. If you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see some sections called Read Aloud, okay? Just as an aside, you don't actually have to scroll all the way down. You can go to this course menu up here and use the menus and just click that and it will take you straight to the section. So for most of the books, I have added activities for Unit 0. For Communication Spotlight 1, I have Unit 1 as well. And I've added activities for Section 4 and 5 for each book. I think those two sections lend themselves to this activity. So let me click Communication Spotlight 1, Unit 0, Section 4. The students will see something like this. There's 3 activities in here: listen, practice, and read. Listen is just so they can listen to the audio.
That is a nice name. That's a nice name. Who is next? Who's next?
Okay. There's a button down here, return to menu. Practice will allow students to practice the sentences one by one.
That is a nice name.
That is a nice name.
That's a nice name.
That's a nice name.
Who is next?
What is next? Who is next?
Who's next?
Who's Nick? Who's next?
That is my first name.
Okay, so this is just for practicing and the score is not recorded. The third activity here, read. This is the one that records the score. So once they hit record, the passage will appear and they have to read it. That is a nice name. That's a nice name. What is next? Who's that? This is my first name. That's my last name. What is your middle name? What's your last name? Okay, and then you click the check for results button. And it takes some time to process the results. Now, I don't know if it's longer, if everybody's accessing it all at once, or what. I think the longer passages take a little bit longer. I imagine it could take a few minutes. I think the longest it's taken me is something like 45, less than a minute anyway. Okay, so there we go. It took 28 seconds. Then you get a rating with stars, 4 out of 5 stars. View full report. Now you get your words per minute, accuracy, and a grade, and the number of mistakes. And this tells you where you messed up. You can click it,
2,
and that tells you the real pronunciation, the good pronunciation. Okay. So how is this score calculated? It's basically words per minute minus errors. I'm not exactly sure how accurately this calculates, but I think it will work well enough. I have it set on a stricter setting. There is a setting that makes it a little bit easier, but it seemed way too easy. So we can try it with this and see how it goes. There are ways to sort of game the system, but I think it's quite difficult to do so. But anyway, you can give it a try and see if you can. The most obvious one is obviously you can get a second device and have it read the passage, right? So you have another computer or another iPhone, and maybe you open up the same activity and you just have it read this using the listen activity. You just play it from the speakers, and then you will get a perfect score every time. Now, if you suspect that of happening, you can go to reports, and you can see the reports for each student. Actually, that's not reports. You want to see grading here. If you go to the grading tab, you will see a list of all of your students who tried this, and you can actually listen to their audio. That is a nice name. That's a nice name. What is next? Who's that? Okay. So you can click the play button and listen to their audio. So I imagine you won't be using this grading tab that much, but if there are any students who, I don't know, are consistently doing very well, or you know that they're not uh, you know their pronunciation's not that great, but they're consistently getting 100%. Well, you could spot check by coming in here and looking up the student. There's no drop down for selecting class here. It's just all of your students will be listed here. So it's not that easy to use. And here you can regrade your student if you wish. Now, okay, let's go back here. In order to put this into your lesson, all you have to do is find the activity you want to put in, right-click, copy the link address, go to your lesson, in your assignments section. You can edit your lesson, go to the section you want to paste it into. Let's say I want to make it a class task, and I'll paste in the URL like that. Well, I probably need some read aloud, and then I can have unit 0 section 4 or something like that. Whatever you need so that students understand. Of course, you can make this the link by clicking the link button and pasting it in here like so. And there I have my link directly to the activity. Now, students will not be able to access that course until you give them the registration key. So make sure you go to your registration key list and provide them with the key for LNS vocab quizzes read aloud. Okay? If you don't want to use the vocab quizzes or read aloud, then you don't need to give them the registration key for that course. When students log in, and after you have given them the key and they have typed that in, they will see this under My Courses. However, when they click it, all they will see is something like this. Actually, I'll make all these invisible. So all they will see is this message that says, that you don't have to access this page from now on. And there's a button here that will take them back to the main homework submission course. So they can only access the ones to which you share a link to in your assignments. Okay? So please give it a try. And, there are some settings that I can tinker with, difficulty level. There is a word per minute target that I have set to 60 at the moment. I've tested it out a lot by myself, but if you actually try it, or if you try it with your students and you feel that something's off or something's not working, then let me know. And all this should work on smartphones. I've tested it on my iPhone. I haven't tested it on Android, but give it a try. For any device, they do have to have their mic on, and that seems to be the largest issue with everybody. They just have their mic off for some reason. They deny access to their mic and they don't know how to turn it back on. So, and that's true for your browser on your PC, and it's true for your browser on your mobile. So make sure you are familiar with how to turn the mic on, or how to give access to the mic in different browsers. As usual, Chrome seems to work the best, but it does seem to work in Safari and Firefox as well. Okay, give it a try and give me feedback. Thanks.